ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
And adventitious shoot formation. Adventitious shoot formation. That is the second one. What are we writing for the second one here? It is making lateral shoot growth and adventitious shoot formation. Lateral shoot growth means laterally the shoot grows here. Adventitious roots, adventitious shoot, where get it produced here? It produced from the axillary bud, where adventitious bud also lead to formation of adventitious shoot. So these two also are well taken care by cytokinin. Apart from this, then we can take the third important function, organ formation and morphogenesis. Organ formation and morphogenesis. What is this organ formation and morphogenesis? Let's go back to the example of tissue culture. Generally in tissue culture method, in tissue culture development, here we are talking about tissue culture, but not only tissue culture, here you can take in the early stages of young plant growing and forming all the parts of the plant. At that time what happens here? You remember here when thallus is there, when callus is there in tissue culture, undifferentiated mass of cells, what do we add at that time? Cytokinin plus auxin. Did you remember? In tissue culture technique, in one of the step we add cytokinin plus auxin. So that makes the organs to form what? Roots are produced with the combination and slowly young plantlet develops. Organs are produced and what is this? Morpho means genesis. Morpho means external parts. Genesis means synthesis. There is a synthesis of external organs of the plant. What are the external organs of the plant? Root and shoot. Right. So in this you can write, for example, you can take high cytokinin to auxin ratio leads to forms or leads to shoot formation and low cytokinin to auxin ratio. So this is high cytokinin, this is low cytokinin, and that leads to root formation. Right. So let us recollect it what we have discussed. Cytokinin, when it is added in high concentration along with the auxin, that lead to shoot formation, and low cytokinin is added in combination with auxin, that lead to formation of root. It's called morphogenesis. Morpho means external organs, genesis means synthesis. Synthesis of external organs, that itself is called organ formation. Cytokinin results in morphogenesis. Then cytokinin also involved in Richmond-Lang effect. Richmond-Lang effect. What is this Richmond and Lang effect here? Richmond and Lang effect, it is nothing but the process of delay in senescence. The process of delay in senescence. Better I will write here, may be visible or not. So here I am writing delay in senescence. What's the meaning of delay in sensing? There is a delay in aging process. There is a delay in aging process. Why there is a delay in aging process here? Because cytokinin prevents chlorophyll damage, RNA damage and protein damage. Okay, cytokinin prevents chlorophyll damage, cytokinin prevents RNA damage, cytokinin prevents protein damage. When chlorophyll, RNA, proteins remain fresh and they are not getting destroyed, then the parts of the plant remain fresh. That makes the delay in senescence. Senescence means aging process. The delay in senescence caused by cytokinin itself is identified by the scientist Richmond Lang. That's why it's called as Richmond-Lang effect. So guys, if you can recollect it, what we discussed in gibberellic acid also causes delay in senescence. Cytokinin also causes delay in senescence. So if you make the comparison here, for example, I am writing here, see the similarities and differences. So if you take here gibberellic acid, here I am writing cytokinin. What are the common points for gibberellic acid and cytokinin? Similarities. Here this also cause delay in senescence. Cytokinin also causes delay in senescence, but cytokinin was identified by scientist Richmond, so it's called Richmond-Lang effect. But gibberellic acid also causes delay in senescence, but this is not called Richmond-Lang effect. Richmond-Lang effect, it is only refers to cytokinins, not for gibberellic acid. What is Richmond-Lang effect? Delay in senescence, if it is caused by cytokinin, then only it is called Richmond-Lang effect. Suppose if the delay in senescence is caused by gibberellic acid, it is not called Richmond-Lang effect, because this particular scientist studied about cytokinin, not about the effect of gibberellic acid. But both of them, what is a common point? Both are responsible for causing delay in senescence. Like that, when we keep moving ahead, you have to see what are the similarities and what are the differences. Now in this, let us talk about even fifth one. So if you take the fifth one, this causes opening of stomata. This causes what? Opening of stomata. Opening of stomata, how it causes here? Especially cytokinin increases. Cytokinin increases potassium concentration. Cytokinin responsible for increase in potassium concentration. Whenever potassium concentration is more in the guard cells, that causes opening of stomata. Remember, one of the very important point, cytokinin is responsible for opening of stomata. You know, in transpiration process, stomata get closed and opens. Right. For opening, who is responsible? Cytokinin. Cytokinin increases potassium concentration in the guard cells and responsible for opening of stomata. Right. Now here, so we have discussed few things about the cytokinin. Now if you take the cytokinin here, there are some common points, as I told you. What is a common point here? Delay in senescence. It causes delay in senescence. Senescence. What is the meaning of delay in senescence? Senescence means aging process. Right. Apart from this, cytokinin also involved in synthesis of chlorophyll. Synthesis of, what is that? Synthesis of chlorophyll. Now, apart from this, especially the application of Application of cytokinin in agriculture and horticulture. In agriculture and horticulture. Let us talk about this point, very important. Okay, what we have discussed, it causes delay in senescence and also responsible for synthesis of chlorophyll. Then very importantly, cytokinin has few applications in agriculture and horticulture. What are they? Let us talk, the very first one is shelf life period. Shelf life period of leafy vegetables. Okay, so it causes, I say that cytokinin enhances, better you can write, enhances shelf life. Let us take the complete statement. Cytokinin enhances shelf life period of leafy vegetables. What is the meaning of this? So it means that free foliar application. So whenever leafy vegetables, if you take, so this is nothing but leafy vegetables, or you can take, maybe for example you can take spinach, as well as you can take what is called as lettuce. In both the cases, what happens here is spinach, lettuce, both of them, suppose if you go for free foliar application of cytokinin. What's the meaning of this? Free foliar application means before harvesting. What's the meaning of free foliar? Free foliar means before harvesting. Before harvesting means before cutting and taking the leaves which we use them as vegetables. For example, leafy vegetables, if you take spinach, lettuce and all that, before cutting and taking, before harvesting means before cutting and taking this leafy vegetables, before that we are going for spray of cytokinin. We are spraying cytokinin externally to the leaves on this, that is called free foliar application. Before harvesting, whenever we spray cytokinin, it is called free foliar application of cytokinin. Before cutting and taking into our hand, we are spraying what is called cytokinin. Then what happens if you spray cytokinin? So this increases freshness of leafy vegetables for long duration, for long period. What's the meaning of that? Increases the freshness of leafy vegetables for long period, means they remain fresh for long duration of time. Generally what happens when we take the leafy vegetables, not keeping in the refrigerator, simply you left it on the table, hardly a day they will be fresh, by next day they totally will become wilted. Wilted means they will vadalipod, okay, they all become dry and they lose water and they become very dry. Generally leafy vegetables, if you keep in refrigerator, hardly it's a matter of 2 days, right? But here before harvesting, in the market people whenever they sell leafy vegetables, before harvesting, before cutting, if we spray the cytokinin, it increases the freshness of leafy vegetables for long period. That means they remain fresh for long time. Remain fresh, that means what is happening here? Increases storage period. It increases a storage period. That means you can store leafy vegetables for very long duration of time. They remain fresh for 2 days or 3 days, and if you simply leave it and kept it on the table also, they remain fresh for longer duration of time. Why? Cytokinin causes synthesis of chlorophyll and it makes delay in senescence. It will not make the leaves to become aged. They will not make the leaves to go death phase. It causes delay in senescence. So, I repeat again this point. The two important things you have to remember, one is delay in senescence, other one is synthesis of chlorophyll. Especially if you take the leafy vegetables, spinach and lettuce, free foliar application of cytokinin. Before harvesting, if you spray cytokinin, it increases freshness of leafy vegetables for a long period of time, for a quite long period of time. They remain fresh and increases the storage period. That is called cytokinin enhances shelf life period of leafy vegetables. So, shelf life means its lifespan, right. Now, similarly we have one more application. So, we have one more application, we are taking the second application. Now, it also enhances. So, you can take cytokinin enhances a vast life period of flowers. A vast life period of flowers. Cytokinin enhances vast life period of flowers. How it will happen? For example, you can take the flowers of dianthus and you can take primula. Okay, we can take the example flowers of dianthus and primula. So, for these flowers, simply what you can do is, we can cut the stem. So, here the cutted stems are dipped in BAP solution. BAP solution. What is BAP solution here? So, what we are doing here? We are taking the cutted stems. Simply we are taking the cutted stems, put in a vessel having a BAP solution. What is BAP? BAP is nothing but what? BAP is nothing but benzyl aminopurine. So, it acts as a preservator. It acts as a preservative solution. Very important. It acts as a preservative solution. Simply you can take the flowers, cutted stems of the flowers and dipped in BAP solution. This is BAP solution. What is BAP? Benzyl aminopurine that act as a preservative solution. Then if that is the case, what you do here? The flowers remain fresh for long duration. The flowers remain fresh for long duration. Got it? That is called as what? Cytokinin enhances vast life period of flowers. It increases the freshness of flowers for a longer duration. What you need to do? For example, dianthus and primula, take the flower cutted stems. Can write simply, we will take flower cutted stems, and flower cutted stems are dipped in BAP solution. What is BAP? Benzyl aminopurine. It acts as preservative solution. When dipped in this, then the flowers remain fresh for long duration. That's called a vast life period of flowers. Okay, these are the very two important applications of cytokinin in agriculture and horticulture. Horticulture means flowering. It talks about flowers. Agriculture means in leafy vegetables and all that, in storage and preservation of leafy vegetables. So, this is nothing but the final task of cytokinin. I will repeat again. Delay in senescence, synthesis of chlorophyll, applications, shelf life period of leafy vegetables. Remember spinach and lettuce. Before cutting and harvesting, we are spraying cytokinin. That increases the freshness of leafy vegetable. Itself is called shelf life period. Similarly, it enhances vast life period of flowers like Dianthus and Primula, cutted stems you add BAP solution, act as a preservative, the flowers are remain fresh for longer duration. This is nothing but a common thing which you have to remember for cytokinins. Let us continue further. So, when we just continue with the what you call plant growth regulators, after you study with the each class, try to go with the comparison of the previous classes, see the similarities and try to check for the differences. For example, we discussed what auxins, gibberellic acid, cytokinins, right. So, for example, if you look at what you call auxin and gibberellic acid, suppose I am writing the similarities. I am writing the similarities. What are the similarities for auxin and gibberellic acid? Auxin also causes parthenocarpy and gibberellic acid also causes parthenocarpy. Try to remember, earlier this was there. Auxin also induces parthenocarpy, gibberellic acid also induces parthenocarpy. What is parthenocarpy? We already studied. Female without fertilization, without reduction division, you know it, right? Without fertilization, without reduction division, a female gametophyte directly develops into fruit, right? Such kind of fruits are seedless. So, what are the examples? You can take example tomato. Yes or no for auxins we discussed. Similarly, same thing happens in gibberellic acid. So, you can also take example same tomatoes, apples, cucumber and all this. Okay. So, this is nothing but similarity, right. Now, let us see the difference. Let us see the differences between auxin and gibberellic acid. Now, auxin makes the formation of forms female flowers. Example, we study pineapple. Remember this. I am talking about auxin and gibberellic acid cytokinin differences. It forms formation of female flowers on pineapple. Come to, this is auxin, come to gibberellic acid. Now, gibberellic acid induces or forms male flowers on genetically female flowers. Genetically, actually the plant produces female flowers. But whenever gibberellic acid is supplied, gibberellic acid forms male flowers on genetically female flowers. Genetically they are female flowers, stigma is there, style, stigma, ovary is there, no androecium. But when gibberellic acid is sprayed over, that is a female flower genetically, but on that anther and androecium is produced with the impact of gibberellic acid. Gibberellic acid forms male flowers on genetically female flowers. You can take example cannabis. Okay, that is cannabis. Similarly, if you look at what you call auxin and cytokinin, antagonistic effects. General question forms I am telling you. What is the antagonistic effect and opposite? Opposite effect, one causes what? For that opposite reaction is taken care by cytokinin. That itself is nothing but what? Differences. We can write in terms of differences. Sometimes difference in the question they will ask you as antagonistic effect. What is the antagonistic effect of auxin and gibberellic acid? Auxin forms female flowers on pineapple. Gibberellic acid forms male flowers on what? Cannabis. This forms female flowers. Opposite one, antagonistic, opposite, it forms male flowers. Similarly, differences if you take auxin and cytokinin. Auxin induces apical dominance. Very, very important. What I am telling you all are very, very important. Similarities are important and differences also important. Okay, so here it induces apical dominance. Cytokinin overcomes apical dominance. Hope you got it. Auxin makes the apical dominance. What apical dominance? It makes the apical bud becomes active. Apical bud is active and keeps growing. And lateral bud becomes silent, inactive. It's called apical dominance. Auxin makes the apical dominance to happen, but cytokinin overcomes the apical dominance. What's the meaning of this? It makes the apical bud to become quiet. It becomes inactive, make the lateral bud to become active. So when lateral bud becomes active, that is called as lateral dominance. One makes the apical dominance, one overcomes the apical dominance. Opposite effect, that is called antagonistic, meaning differences. What is the similarity here? Similarity means same. Similarities. Similarities if you take, auxin also makes the cell division and what you call cell elongation and cell differentiation. Similarly, cytokinin also makes the cell division, cell elongation and cell differentiation. Both of them together involved in shoot formation and root formation. Guys, I always have a dialogue. You remember? Guys, I always have a dialogue. I always used to tell you people number of times. I routinely use the dialogue that what you read from NCERT is not the NEET. What you understand from the reading is NEET. Okay. So, this all you need to understand after reading. General concept of auxin we discussed, gibberellic acid we discussed, cytokinin we discussed. What you study from NCERT is not the final need. After reading what you understood, what you have to understood, you have studied auxin, you have studied gibberellic acid. I complete as a student, if I complete auxin, over. Okay, today I studied gibberellic acid, over. Then if I don't compare what I discussed in auxin and what I discussed in gibberellic acid, what are the similarities between these two, what are the differences between these two, until unless I go for correlation and revise putting both parameters on the paper, it is not called NEET preparation. So, what you read from NCERT is not the NEET. What you understand from the NCERT lines, you need to see the similarities. Yesterday class we discussed auxin. Today's class we discussed gibberellic acid. What are the similarities? These are the similarities. Maybe these are the differences. This is what is NEET. What you read is not NEET. What you understood out of this is NEET. See, I studied as a student, I studied auxin and cytokinin. Okay, day before yesterday I studied auxin, yesterday I studied gibberellic acid, today I studied cytokinin. If I read as it is and if I say I am perfect with the concept, marks will not come. So, you need to see the similarities, you need to see the comparisons, then questions will come, intertwisted questions will come. If you can see, antagonistic means differences, you can see the similarities when you can keep it on the paper. Okay, this is what I studied day before yesterday, this is what I studied today, these are the common points, these are the differences. When you make clear note on the paper, when you revise so clearly in your mind, that becomes the perfect preparation for the final NEET. Similarly, now if you look at gibberellic acid and cytokinin, gibberellic acid, cytokinin, similarity if you look at, what is the similarity you take? This also cause delay in senescence. This also cause delay in senescence. But what is the difference here? This is identified by the scientist is called Richmond-Lang effect, but it cannot be called as Richmond and Lang effect. Gibberellic acid also causes delay in senescence, cytokinin is also causes delay in senescence, but Richmond is a scientist who studied and identified cytokinin is responsible for delay in senescence, hence it is called Richmond-Lang effect. But gibberellic acid also contributes for delay in senescence, but it cannot be called Richmond-Lang effect. Here you cannot use Richmond-Lang effect. See the difference, see the similarity, right? So this is how you have to make similarities and differences. That becomes, you will be thorough and you will become perfect master of NCERT by comparing all the concepts of all lessons, where exactly similarities are there, where exactly differences are there. If you connect them, if you coordinate them, if you become the master of NCERT, then you are thorough with the NCERT lines, then that becomes perfect preparation for final NEET. Now, so let us go with next one, abscisic acid. Okay, let us talk about the next one, abscisic acid. So, abscisic acid, actually what we discussed earlier, if you remember, the plant growth hormones are divided into two categories. Plant growth hormones are divided into two categories. What are they? Plant growth promoters and plant growth inhibitors. Plant growth inhibitors. You remember we discussed what? Plant growth hormones are divided into two categories. Some of them promote the growth phenomena, some of them inhibit the growth phenomena, right? So far what we discussed all will come under growth promoters. What have we discussed? Auxin we discussed, gibberellic acid and then cytokinin. All three promote the growth phenomena. All three promote the growth phenomena. So far we have discussed up to here. So earlier we discussed growth phenomena means what? Cell division, cell elongation, cell differentiation, trophic growth, root formation, shoot formation, leaves formation, flower formation, fruit formation and seed formation. This all will come under growth activities. So these promote growth. They are called as plant growth promoters. Till now we discussed this. Okay, these three will come under plant growth promoters. So we have discussed all these three. Now what is the next one we are discussing? Now this is nothing but abscisic acid. What is this? Abscisic acid, ABA, abscisic acid. What is this abscisic acid? It is a growth inhibitor. It inhibits the growth. So we discussed earlier, plant response to wound formation, stress to biotic and abiotic, dormancy, abscission, this all will come under growth inhibitor. So what we are discussing now, we are here in the discussion, we are discussing now abscisic acid. Make a clear difference in your mind. So far what we discussed are nothing but plant growth promoters, and what we discussed here, this is nothing but plant growth inhibitor. We are here in the discussion of abscisic acid. So what we write here, it is nothing but a plant growth inhibitor. It is nothing but a plant growth inhibitor. So if you look at this abscisic acid, now here let us talk about discovery, or you can write abscisic acid is synthesized from synthesized by acetyl-CoA, very important. Abscisic acid is synthesized by the compound called as what? Acetyl-CoA. What is that compound? Acetyl-CoA. Very important point. Whenever you get the question that abscisic acid is synthesized by, you have to remember acetyl-CoA. Right. Let us come. This is a compound. Acetyl-CoA is a compound. We will discuss in respiration. At that time, you will come to know that acetyl-CoA is one of the intermediate compound in respiration. So, coming chapters, if you look at respiration is one of the chapter. At that time, we will discuss acetyl-CoA. Keep remember, at that time I will ask you, acetyl-CoA is involved in formation of what plant growth hormones? At that time you have to tell me very clearly. There is one more compound is also there along with abscisic acid, which I told you in the previous classes. Stress that point and keep it in your mind. Acetyl-CoA is involved in formation of two plant growth hormones. What are they? One is, I told you in the last class, check it out once, keep it in your mind. Other one is this. I will ask you both when we talk about in the chapter called respiration. Now, let us talk about discovery. In discovery, how people have identified, how people have discovered. Endicott. Endicott is a scientist who studied in the cotton fruits. Something is responsible for causing abscission. Some chemical is responsible for causing induces some chemical causing abscission. He identified some chemical causing abscission in cotton fruits. What is abscission? Breakdown of tissue. It's called as what? Abscission. We studied earlier, right? Breakdown of tissue, it's called as what? Abscission. So, that he has given the name to this as abscission 1. He has given name to this. He called that compound, that chemical as what? Abscission 1. I repeat, Endicott is a scientist. He studied in the cotton fruits. What did he discover in cotton fruits? Some chemical is causing abscission in cotton fruits, which has given the name called abscission. Right. Later, another scientist, Waring. Waring is a scientist. He studied in the leaves of acer. He studied in the leaves of acer. What did he study in the leaves of acer? He studied the process called as some chemical is responsible for dormancy. Some chemical is responsible for dormancy. What is dormancy? Delay in germination. That is called as dormancy. Some chemical. What is that chemical? Which he has referred as abscission 2 or which he referred as dormin. Okay. I repeat, Waring is a scientist. In the leaves of acer, he studied that some chemical is causing dormancy. Some chemical is causing dormancy. What is dormancy? Delay in germination, which he called it as abscission 2 or itself he referred as what? Dormin. Later, another scientist had given the name to this as inhibitor. So, another scientist, they referred the same compound as inhibitor B. Okay. So, here abscission 1 or inhibitor B, abscission 2 or dormin. Later people found that all compounds what they have discussed, they are chemically identical. Whatever they discovered are chemically identical. What are chemically identical? Abscission 1 or abscission 2, nothing but dormin and inhibitor B. These all are chemically identical, all are same, and which they have referred it as abscisic acid. Which they have referred it as what? Abscisic acid. So, abscisic acid has different names. Different scientists have revealed different names. Remember, different scientists has different names like abscission 1, abscission 2, Dormin, inhibitor B. All are chemically identical and they have given the name called as abscisic acid. So, 3 different scientists, they studied and identified what is called as abscisic acid.